Good morning everyone and to you sir. I am Naomi Orsha and I'll be discussing about the Manunggul jar. Manunggul jar is considered to be one of the Philippine cultural treasures and early pre-colonial artwork. The Manunggul jar is a secondary burial jar that believes to be a cultural treasure. It is because of the top part of the jar, which is the cover. So this is the cover up until here. It shows the beliefs of our ancestor who happened to believe that the two human figures who was seated on the boat, so this one, the two human figure, is representing two souls going to the afterlife, meaning the souls of the people who died will ride on that boat, as this will be their way to pass through rivers and seas in order to go to the afterlife. The Manunggul jar was acknowledged to be the finest masterpiece and was marked as a national treasure with a designated number item of 64/MO-74 by the National Museum of the Philippines, and it is considered to be one of the most popular exhibits inside the museum. It was made up of clay and some sand soil, while the upper portion of the jar in its cover is decorated using a curved design. So muna yung iyang design nagpa-curve and painted with the use of iron and hematite. So, who discovered the Manunggul jar? It was discovered by Dr. Robert B. Fox and Antonio in 1964. So the person in the picture is Dr. Robert B. Fox. He was an anthropologist of the National Museum, and along with his team, they were excavating the Tabon Cave. It was the first excavation that gives way to the discovery of this burial jar, also known as the Manunggul jar. They also discovered a remain of a Tabon man inside the jar and was painted with red paint. Its bone was painted with red paint, and it was found from a Neolithic burial site inside the Manunggul Cave of Tabon Caves. The Tabon Cave is located at the Lipuon Point in the Palawan. So the Neolithic burial site, it was a cemetery of a New Stone Age people. It is where their burial practices takes place. It is where the body of their loved ones buried. The Tabon Cave, as I mentioned to you a while ago, is known to be a place of many jar burials ranging from 4,250 to 2,000 BP. There were believed to be 78 jars and earthenwares, including the said Manunggul jar, was found inside the cave. The artifact found inside the chamber was made for funerary pottery. That's why the design of the jar can be found at some traces of beliefs for human figure that can be seen on the cover of the Manunggul jar. So this one, its hands were put across his chest because this is how we arrange corpses from burials. Then next is the fine lines and intricate designs of the Manunggul jar. If we examine the Manunggul jar, we can see there the culture of the Filipino beliefs as well as the Austronesian belief to the Anito. The Austronesian belief, they believe that everything has a spirit, from rocks, trees to animals, even humans to natural phenomena. These spirits, where they believe, is known as Anito. Manunggul jar also reflects the artistry of the Filipino, and according to Dr. Robert B. Fox, he believed that the person who made the jar was an indigenous artist and a master potter. Then next is, there are the three faces of the manunggul jar. First is the soul. Soul represents the two-figure man, so this one, who was taking its journey to the afterlife. So next is the boatman. Boatman serves you. It is your way. He will be the one to bring you to the afterlife. Next is the boat, or the boat itself. So this one, ano siya, barko. This boat is the one you will use in order for you to cross rivers and water for you to reach to the afterlife. So, this topic let us see the connection between our Southeast Asian neighbors, that up until now, we still share common culture and beliefs despite the diversity of the culture of the Philippine people. Based on my research, the purpose of the manunggul jar, it serves as a container of the remain of a deceased person who passed away. So diri nila ginasulod ang remains sa usa ka tawo nga namatay na, and kanipod nga jar is nakita nila ni siya along with many bracelets. The manunggul jar shows the spirituality of the Filipino through showing respect to the soul, compassion, nationalism, and faith. This manunggul jar also serves as a living reminder of the country's rich history and culture. The curved design in the manunggul jar represents the sea waves. So, kaning mo ni ga-represent ni siya og sea wave. Because this shows how waters were important to our ancestors way back before. This is their only way to do trading, sharing informations, gathering informations, which made the spread of the Austronesian speaking possible. Our ships, called the Balanghay, the Parao, and the Karakoa, is considered as marvelous technological advances that gain respect to us by our country neighbors, including the Imperial Chinese, which made us partners in trading. So, that would be all. Thank you for listening.